How to apply for public housing. Are you considering applying for public housing? The process is similar to applying for a Housing Choice Voucher and requires applying to the Public Housing Authority, PHA, in your desired area. Here's what you need to know. First, ensure that you meet the eligibility requirements. Public housing is limited to households with low income and eligible immigration status, and disabled and elderly families are given high priority. Depending on your location, you may be required to have at least one elderly person in your household to qualify. Once you apply, the PHA will check your references and tenancy history to ensure that your household will be good tenants. If you have any habits or practices that may be harmful to other tenants, you may not be granted accommodation. Additionally, if there is no appropriate unit size for your household, you may be denied. If you're deemed eligible and offered a unit, it's important to sign a lease with the PHA. The lease must comply with local, state, and federal housing laws and regulations, and may have some additions or modifications depending on the housing authority. Make sure to read and understand all terms of your lease before signing, and ask a PHA staff member to explain anything that isn't clear to you. Your public housing lease may have a specific length, but it can be renewed as long as you remain eligible for the program. The length of the lease may differ between state and federal housing projects. In most states, state public housing lease agreements continue until either you or the PHA ends the agreement through writing. In federal public housing, the lease agreements usually last for 1 year and renew automatically as long as you abide by the rules and remain qualified. After you apply for public housing, you'll receive a notification of whether you qualify or not. If approved, you'll be placed on the waiting list and notified as soon as you get to the top. If you have certain conditions, such as a high risk of homelessness, you may be able to get a unit sooner. Contact your PHA to know the conditions that may qualify you for faster assistance. Finally, the amount of money you'll have to pay for rent as a public housing tenant depends on your income and whether your unit is in a federal or state housing project. Federal public housing projects usually require that tenants pay either 30% of their monthly adjusted income or 10% of their annual income, depending on which is higher and the conditions of the lease. If you have to pay for utilities, it will be deducted from your rent amount. In a state public housing project, the percentage of your income you'll have to pay for rent depends on the size of your household and whether you have to pay for utilities or not. That's all for today. If you have any questions, comment us below or contact your local PHA for assistance. Thanks for watching.